Hey guys, let me know if y'all can hear me. So we're gonna start by looking for a reference. Hey there. Right now I'm just looking for a reference. What's up, brother? How's it going? What's up? What's up? Oh, that's great. Good to know. Good to know. Um, I also have my link tree on my page. So if you go to my profile, you can always come here on my link tree. Oh, do not have my YouTube here? Oh no, never mind. It's the first one. But I am glad to have you guys here. I am starting a character from scratch just because I need a life where it takes back to the basics. There's a lot of new people. And as I'm working on it, please feel free to interrupt me and just talk to me. I will be available at all times. Is that better? Okay, how does this sound? For this one, I'm gonna make a very simple face, but interesting at the same time to just kind of make it very easy. So everything that I do is in Blender using texturing XYZ. This is their website, and they have um, they have very good maps that you can start off with. So we're gonna see today, um, starting everything from the beginning, how I usually do. Um, Let me see, where would be face? Oh. So as you can see, you can come here and just buy one of those maps. and that is what I usually use. Give me 1 second, you guys. Okay. You guys can also feel free to help me out choosing a face. But I'm gonna keep it like short and simple. So I'm not um stirring away from a usual style or usual like faces. This is more so we can brush through each step. I think I like something like this with emotion and just kind of a uh, subtle emotion where you're not entirely sure if she's sad or if she's just chilling. So here I'm gonna start creating a new folder. Mm, this is not the right one. Mm, Let me see if I can find more pictures of this girl. So she'll be a reference for our emotion, hair. Mm. Mm, mm, Let me try to find somebody that's like a public figure that has freckles. I actually just saw eyes with freckles too. I think that's very, very, very interesting. Mm, somewhere around here. There you go. I'm gonna make their eyes like this. It's pretty cool. I really like this for a like reference of lighting. This is kind of what I'm looking for, like a clear shot with good lighting, not edited. I like this, but this is, I think this is AI. Yeah, for sure that's AI. This is another reference for lighting. So let's get started. Now that I feel like I have enough references, I am gonna open a new file. And for that, we're gonna start with my template file. Let me just change to Blender here. Okay. Boom. Let's begin with one of the references that I have, which in this case will be I'm gonna start with this reference right here. Okay. First things first, we so this is a base mesh already connect with already a texturing XYZ map connected to it, right? But that's not what I want. I actually want a cleaner, not a cleaner, but like nothing attached to it. So we're gonna go over to the shader editor and just clean this up. Yeah. Okay. And then we are gonna start by attaching those eye textures. Mm. Hey, Steph. Let's see. Let's see. I have like two drop boxes that I work with. So sometimes I forget where I put my stuff. Hmm. Now I'm just locating those files. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I'm glad to see you here too. And yes, my day has been busy and good, but I've been having a pretty good week. I'm not gonna lie. Pretty good week. Cannot complain. So right now, since there you go. Now the textures, the eye textures are all linked. And she's looking straight at the camera too. Like damn. I'm gonna start by making those a little bigger. Same thing here. Um, so I always start with my base mesh. If you know my process, that's where I start from, right? Um, Now this is already rigged, so I already have a fully like functional rig here. Ooh, creepy. Um, Crazy. So this is what we are starting off with. Um, because every time we don't need to go through the hustle of creating the nose, the ears, retopologizing, all of that. So first things first, we are gonna start sculpting, and we're gonna go for like the ginger look with freckles. But it's gonna be a mix of different likeness. Um, and again, I am doing this just so we can have something from scratch, right? So I'm just gonna do what I always do. We're just gonna quickly go through the steps just so y'all can get a little bit more familiar with the things that I already do and just like kind of guiding you guys through the process. Um, so let's start by sculpting the likeness. And again, this is not just gonna be one person or just her. It's gonna be a mix. Um, and a couple of things to just keep in mind. Uh, this is a, guess you could say like medium um, to high base mesh. Like it's not low poly, not entirely low poly. So I have to keep that in mind as I am going through the steps so I don't run into issues. For example, subdivision was now on, but I'm not going to keep it on at all times. That tends to slow Blender down by a lot. And just being careful with certain steps. Also, we're going to have hair all the hair in a separate base mesh. Um, Also for the best performance, and then we're gonna finish off. We're gonna sculpt. We're gonna finish off with some little animation. Um, which we're gonna do the animation in between steps. So right now I'm just gonna sculpt, and then once I'm done with the primary forms and secondary forms, we're gonna go into the animation before we have hair, just to make this process a little bit less painful. But I actually want to make this line a little bit more like my um, my reference here. So a couple of things that we're gonna do. We're gonna bring this background closer. We're gonna have the light. Um, Maybe I'm not even gonna use this one light. Mm, let's see. I'm thinking of using. I'm thinking of using this area light and kind of using something like this and make it round, like a softbox, and then uh, yeah. Guys, feel free to talk to me at any time. Ask questions, whatever you might think, whatever you might need to know. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Eu sou brasileiro também. Thank you so much. I appreciate that a lot. I think everybody knows I'm from Brazil, and every now and then, um, because I just say that all the time, but every now and then, people won't know that I'm from Brazil. But thank you. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. I kind of also want to have the background the same color. Yeah, this is kind of similar. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, honestly. Oh, wow. That's awesome. That's awesome. I love to hear that. And I also want to see um, your guys' work. I'm always so excited to just share and see you guys' work. And feel free to reach out sempre que você quiser perguntar algo, se tiver dúvida, quiser conversar comigo no Instagram, eu tô sempre, sempre, sempre à disposição. Okay, I like this better now. I think this is closer as far as lighting and um the background. Mine is a little bit more. Maybe we just need to make a hair darker. Yeah. Yeah. Something along those lines. And then I'm gonna save the project. I still don't have a name for this project, but let's start with this right here. Um, so the first thing that I'm gonna do is connect the skin that I want to use, and then I'm gonna sculpt with it just so I can get as close as I can to the look that I'm going for. So right now, if you guys want to know how my skins are set up, the shader and everything, this is the time. So we're gonna start by creating some image textures, and I'm just gonna duplicate that, and then I'm gonna have 4 to start off with. Probably gonna add some more later, but let's start with the albedo map. And I am gonna use an albedo map that is already with freckles. Um, we are also going to use. So this is texturing XYZ albedo map. As you can see, pretty damn good. Pretty damn good. And I'm also going to um, increase. What's up? What's up? What inspired this project? Honestly, this project is it's just so more so I can go through the steps from the beginning. For the new, like for the people who hasn't watched my entire process yet, so I'm just starting from scratch and just to kind of like show you guys what my steps are, and we're gonna do. Really? Is this better? Am I talking in and out of the mic? That might be the case. Um, but yeah, I am just going through the steps of what I do and how I make a character. For people that are starting to follow me now or starting to learn with me now. And I just kind of want to show you guys in a very simple way from. Hello. Let's see. Is this better? Can you guys hear me well? Okay, thank you. Thanks. Um Perfect. Um so yeah, now that I know you guys can hear me, long story short, this character is just so you guys can get more familiar with my entire process. Um Especially for the people that are starting to follow me now and see my work in my workflow now. Um, so I'm just gonna try to make it as basic as I can, and so you guys can see from like step 1 through 10 or whatever, and do a little animation at the end. But as you guys can see, we start with the base mesh, and this base mesh is already rigged. Um, this right here. So she's already rigged. Um, Later this week, if you guys tell me in the comments that you guys want to see me rigging from scratch, I can do that. Um, so yeah, just let me know in the comments. So right now the subsurface is a little too high. This is better. And this needs to be fixed too. Mm. This right here is just a little too broad and needs to be just a little sharper, this edge. So I'm just gonna, yeah, this is better. Mm, okay. So let's start with the work. We are gonna start by sculpting. Giving her cheeks a little bit more volume and then just smooth it out a little bit. Okay, smooth this out. And then let's introduce a little bit of secondary forms, especially here. Just, I'm just gonna do a crease right here. Okay, beautiful. Here we're gonna smooth this shadow out as well. eyebrows are very high. What's up? What's up? Okay, man. See you soon. Thanks for stopping by. Okay. Nose. With nose, I'm just grabbing like the tip of the nose and just pushing it to the sides to create this volume that you can see better on the viewport right here. Giving it a little bit more definition on the cheeks, and also just making this volume a little bit bigger, like the reference. And then just smooth it out. Creating out some more definition on the jaw. And then smooth it out. And a little bit more shape to the ears. And again, the goal here is not to make her look like 100%, even because this girl, this 3D I'm creating, she's gonna be ginger, so and in the meantime, it's just a random question. Do you guys watch TV shows? And if so, which ones? Because I've been watching Wheel of Time and I am hooked. I love Wheel of Time, especially the new season. Has anybody watched the new season of Wheel of Time? Right now, I'm gonna use a subdivision modifier. Oh yeah. If you're into like the fantasy, which I think that most people that make 3D are into fantasy, I think you're gonna love it. Oh, heist and thriller. Oh, I love everything that's like thriller, action. Um, that's so crazy. I'm always watching, always watching thriller and action. Yesterday, I went to the movie theater, um, and I watched this. It's like Money Heist. You love Money Heist. Um, it's that one though. It's a little bit more comedy. I usually don't love when they mix comedy with action, but that one was really good actually, and it's called Novocaine. Novocaine. Yeah, Novocaine. Really, really good. And it's with Huey from The Boys. Really good movie. Right now, I'm kind of like refining the shape of her cheeks because that is one thing that makes um, faces more feminine or masculine. And I do want her face to be very, very feminine. Okay, cool. Um, so right now we are gonna go into the animation. Mm, no, I lied. Let me change the skin first and a couple of things with the shader, and then we are gonna go to the animation. Just breaking also the shape of the mouth a little bit better because it was too linear, and her mouth is more on the organic side. Like this right here is not a straight line, it's more of like an S, and same thing here. So just making it look a little bit more organic. Okay. Okay. Now let's get into the maps, just to make her look more realistic, and also change the color of the eyes. So for this one, I'm gonna keep her skin tone a little bit more pinkish, but I do want to bring out the freckles a little bit more. So I think I'm just gonna increase the contrast a little by 0.5, and then I am going to decrease the saturation And for that, instead of I'm I'm adding nodes, right, in between the albedo map, the original albedo map, and my shader principled BSDF on Blender, which this is the standard shader. So when I come here, I come to color, hue, saturation, value, and then I'm just gonna decrease the saturation, but instead of affecting all of it, I just wanted to affect the darker colors. I mean the brighter colors, protecting the darker ones. So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the color into factor, and that will create a map. Um, so instead of decreasing the saturation of all of it, I'm just gonna decrease the saturation of the lighter colors. Okay. Yeah. Something like this is what I'm looking for, because now I can see the freckles better. And now let's change the eye color. So for the eye color, let's do a blue color. Very, very pretty. I really love this iris. It's very pretty, but it doesn't look very realistic like that. Yeah, your Mo. How's it going, brother? So, the eyes that I'm looking for, they're gonna be like this. Um, just so we can have a nice variation to it. And as you can see on what's up, let's go. Um, the eyes are not the 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 color is not as distinguishable. They kind of blend in a little bit more. So I'm just gonna paint over it. Um, I could also start like one from scratch, but right now we're just gonna kind of like paint over it. Uh, and also I do think that this iris is a little too big. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, let's keep it right there. And now, let's do the same thing to the other side. Boom. You guys can already see that the iris blends in a lot better now. With just adjusting the value that I was adjusting here and the size of the iris, so the edges of the iris are matching from here with the transition as well. And let's see. So a couple of things that we're gonna do now is attaching the displacement. We're gonna do um, we're gonna paint the iris. We're gonna do the displacement from texturing X, Y, and Z and see how that's gonna look. But right now it's just my I want to call it like low poly, but it's really not low poly. It's more of a medium. Um, it looks like this. Um, but yeah, and this we're gonna adjust a couple of things as well, like the color of the lips. But this is where we're at right now. And then we're gonna adjust those shape keys that are not looking very good, but we're gonna adjust those shape keys. So first things first, let me see. Let's do the eyes. Let's start with the texture of the eyes. So with my iris on, I'm just selecting my iris, and then I am going to make hide the sclera, and here I'm just gonna choose iris color and flat. There you go. So now I'm gonna go back here to my reference, and this is the reference that I have. So I do want to keep this texture from my base, but it's gonna be a lot more faded. I'm just gonna choose like a light blue like that, and then I'm just gonna start with a strength of 0.3. I'm just gonna start painting over it. And then I'm gonna do a couple more strokes. Gonna add a little bit of green. Add a little bit of yellow. And then a little bit of a darker color around here. Boom. Now that I'm done with this, instead of putting those brown dots right away, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna save this, because I'm gonna paint one version for the left eye and one version for the right eye. So I'm just gonna come to my shader editor, the iris color, under my properties. Actually, no, not gonna go to the shader editor for that. I'm gonna go to the image editor, and I'm gonna type iris color, and I'm gonna save as iris color green. Okay. Now that I have this saved, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna add those brown spots. And want to make as organic as I can. Yeah. And then some spots a little bit lighter. And there you go. Cool. So now I'm gonna save as again, and then green, brown spots 1. We're gonna save, and then for the other eye, I'm going to create a new texture. I'm gonna separate them. View and frame selected, so I can frame the other iris, and then I'm gonna choose iris color again and hide sclera. Here, I'm gonna go to shader editor. I'm gonna separate those two materials because both iris were using the same material, so I'm gonna separate them. And now I'm gonna go back to the green color with no spots, and I'm gonna create a different spot kind of thing. So for this one, oh, my blender crashed, and hopefully I have a lot saved. Let's see. Yeah, we're good. Let me just save this and then go back to separating those two. Object mode, go back to, so let's enable those two. And then in my iris, I'm going to separate those. This one, I'm just gonna change it to the green with brown spots. I'm actually probably gonna make those spots bigger, because from far up, like far away, you can't really see anything. And now I'm gonna redo this one. So here I'm gonna go to my viewport and then texture paint. I'm gonna texture paint. I'm gonna hide my sclera, and then I'm gonna make it flat. Sando, oh my god, thank you so much. Thank you. I miss you. When are you gonna come to LA? For this one, I'm just going to create like kind of something more interesting, like this. There you go. And then darker spots to make it blend a little bit better. just creating some brown spots. Boom. Let's see what this looks like. Maybe also just make the eye color a little bit brighter in some spots so we have better contrasts. And then I'm gonna go right here on the image and I'm gonna save as green brown spots 2 and save. And now if I go back, let's see what this looks like. There you go. I really like this. But the second eye needs to be a little bit more noticeable. Let's do that again. I mean the first eye. Texture paint. And now I'm just gonna do like an overlay. Yeah. Also gonna bring some of the colors, make it a little bit brighter in some areas. And there you have it. Yeah. So save, and let's see what that looks like. Yeah. And boom, exotic eyes. Pretty cool, pretty cool. The iris needs to go back a little. Or not. Or forward, let me see. Forward. And they need to fit. Just a hair better. There you go. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Now let's see. I think the subsurface is a little too strong still. Let's just reduce the subsurface a little. There you go. I think this is better. And now we are going to add a displacement map. So actually we're going to start with the normal map. So if I go back to my texturing XYZ, I come here to maps and then normal. I'm gonna add a bump node. I'm gonna connect my normal map to my normal. Then I'm gonna put the bump node in between just so I can gauge it. So this is what the normal map is doing, right? This bump right here. So without it and with it. So everybody can see what it's doing, right? But the normal map I like point 20, just so you guys know. I like point 20. I think that it gives a nice upward displacement, but it still looks kind of weird when you zoom in. And some areas look really good. Some areas you can definitely tell it's normal map and not either sculpted or not really there. Yeah. So what we're gonna do now is we are going to add the displacement map. So I am adding the texture XYZ displacement map right here. And we're going to add a vector displacement. We're going to connect the color to height, the displacement to the displacement node. And as you can see, too strong. So we're going to gauge that with the scale. Let's put 0.10. It's too strong still. I think I can go a little bit easier on my normal map. So let's say point 10. Let's see. Yeah, I like this better. Seems to be a little bit more balanced. But I still not loving it, but it is a good start. Let me add a displacement modifier. So deform, displace. Let me add a new texture. And then in textures, I am going to look for the displacement map. I'm going to come back here and put the strength to 0.10. Let's see how that one looks. Also the material, let's see if I put displacement and bump under the settings. Let's see how that looks. My computer is crying. And the coordinates gotta be UV. There you go. That's why it was giving me like some errors and whatnot. Okay. Let me see a strength of 15. Strength of 1. Okay. 0.5. Hey Paulo, what's up? The thing with this like displacement map is just the red, the blue, and the green channels are not separated. So right now the red is influencing a lot. And just so you know, when you have a displacement map with the three channels, red, blue, and green, um, in texturing X, Y, and Z maps case, my Blender crashed again. Um, that means that the red is the larger details, the greens are going to be the intermediate, and the blues are going to be the fine details. Mm. Okay. So this is where we are at with her so far. Let me add the depth of field just to see. Yeah. Yeah. She is already looking pretty good for a low base, a low poly base. But yeah. Oh, I like this. I like this lighting right here. I really like this lighting. Yeah. I think the eyes are still a little bit too. Out of place. Yeah. Okay. This is looking better. Now, this the sclera is a little bit too white, so let's add some subsurface to it. Now let's bring it down. There you go. So the eyes are a little too close to the right here. The eyes just to fit the eyes better and create a little bit of a shadow here. There you go. Yeah. What's the mesh count? The mesh count right now is there you go. It has 17,000 faces. Just the base mesh, right? We're not counting anything else. Oh, the eyes. Thanks. I appreciate it. Uh, I'm wondering what has so many faces here. 187,000. Is it though? Oh damn! It's the iris. My iris is more high poly than anything else. That's crazy. Cool. Mm, let's fix the eyes closed. As you can see, it's very out of place. So it's just scope mode. I'm just gonna soften this up. Make a little bit of a boom, boom. Yeah, I think that's all that I needed for now. Yeah, all I needed for now. Honestly, I work with music only. I'm doing this with no music because I didn't want to interrupt you guys. Like, if you guys are listening to any music, but if you guys want me to put some music on, what I would normally listen to, let me know. Write in the comments who wants me to put music on. Okay. Mm. What are we doing next? Mm, let's see. The goal of this live is to have her face with um, brows, lashes, and a little blank animation. Um, so I could go through different routes together. Um, I think doing the animation now is the one that's gonna be the best for me. Um, because now it's still kind of low poly, and if I do that later on with hair, that could um, that could be more annoying. But let's get a reference of somebody blinking, and then we're gonna set the camera up, and we're just gonna replicate that. So right now, let's duplicate the camera, and let's zoom that in. So here's my camera. I'm just gonna bring it a lot closer to the face. That's going to be about this close. That's going to be 0.74. And on my depth of field, I'm going to increase decrease 0.74. Okay, that didn't work. Let's see if I have to. Okay, let's adjust. Instead of 2.8, let's do 8. We're gonna come up to the eyes. And then let's make it a little bit further. There you go. And now the f-stop goes to 6. Thank you, Beatriz. Yeah, this is my Instagram of the artist. Um, you can find me there. Rafa the artist. Let's move a little bit more to the side. Let me follow you back. Um, there you go. I like this. Let me just make a little bit more zoomed in. There you go. Now I am going to work off a reference. My reference, let me change to OBS. Let's put back in. Um, I already had a reference here on Canva that I liked. So let's use this one. Thank you, Steph. Thank you, guys. You guys are too kind. I have, I really, really, really appreciate that. Um, it's kind of crazy to have you guys tell me that. I think it's so cool because I still see myself as just somebody who's learning. You know what I mean? Like I I just started like a year and 4 months ago or 5 months ago, something like that. And it's really cool to see the blink look angled. Yeah, that is true. I was thinking about that too. Um, but I still see myself as somebody who's just genuinely learning, you know? So have anybody tell me that they aspire to do anything like me, it's it's amazing, honestly. It's very rewarding. Mm, not, there you go. And now let me just move the eye a little bit. That is so cool. I really, really, really appreciate that, man. Uh, honestly, that's really, really dope to hear. That Willow one took me a while, though. I'm not gonna lie. That Willow one, oh my gosh, I thought I was never gonna end that one. I think the camera. I just tilted the camera a little too much for. See. Yeah. There you go. I was just tweaking the rig just to make it seem like she's looking straight into the camera. So, there is a little bit of movement, eyes wide open, and then blink. Let's do that. Boom, that right there. So 1, 2. So it goes into 4 seconds. That's how long our animation is gonna be. Uh, I forgot that I have OBS on, not on overall my screen. So let me just go ahead and fix that. Okay, because I was going back and forth between Blender and um, Google Chrome or whatever. Um, so all we're gonna do is eyes open, blink. In order to do that, we're gonna have her eyes in a more relaxed position, and then in 1.5 seconds, yeah, it's gonna open and then blink. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So between 3 and 4 is the blink. We're gonna do 24 frames a second. That's gonna be 100 frames. And between second 3 and 4, let's put the blink on 60. And once it blinks, stay there for a little. Okay. So eyes relaxed. And goes into wide open. And these movements right here, there's like a little bit of like noise. Let's see if I add a noise modifier. Let me see, graph editor. Maybe if I add like a noise. There we go. So maybe, yeah, just adding a little bit of a noise modifier. Yeah, for sure. For sure. We're gonna work on animating that iris stuff. That's gonna be key as well. trend. Let's see. Yeah, it's more on this. And also like how the eyes, they kind of, it contracts as the eyes widens. Yeah. So that's which is nice, right? Yeah, it's so creepy, but I like it. So if you're not too familiar with the interface here, of just animating the shape keys or keyframes, um, all I need to do on this lower part right here from timeline, I went to graph editor, and then once I have my mesh selected, I can just come. It's gonna be on F curve. I can just come to modifiers, and then I added a noise modifier, which basically noise is going to create like a variation in values of that specific keyframe that you're working on. The keyframe that I'm working on right now is this one that's highlighted, which is my blink. Um, so on top of doing the blink, I just added this very subtle noise at a strength of 0.03. Um, and now, before we go any further, honestly, I am learning animation too. This is not like I'm literally, this is like new territory to me. Everything that I tell you guys is all that I know. I do not know much about animation. But shape keys I'm getting more familiar with now. But basically, shape keys is just adding different um, faces, expressions. Um, it like it's just like a layer. If you're familiar with just editing photos, like when you add like layers to a photo edit, that's kind of like what I associate shape keys with. Um, so right now I have two shape keys. One is for her likeness. So that's gonna be my first shape key. That was the original base mesh, very pretty, and then that's her. And then obviously the blink. So those are the two shape keys that I have. And then on top of it, I might add another shape key, which is gonna be my asymmetry, because now she's symmetric. So I will probably do another shape key for the asymmetry. And the reason why I do a shape key for the asymmetry is so if I want to go back to being symmetric because I want to fix hair or things like that, I can do it easier with shape keys. Yeah, with it being symmetric is what I mean. Okay, I was just fixing a problem with the sclera because in my sclera I have two layers. One just for the reflections, and then the other layer for um, the actual white. Um, and I was fixing it because the white layer was coming up top. So I'm just inflating the top layer. And there we have it. Down, blink, and that's it. Blink, and then relax again. Let's finish this animation with 0.10 or 0.05. Yeah. Okay, and now with the iris, we're gonna create a shape key. So bases and then key, and then we're gonna go to edit mode, and we are going to create a shape key. I'm just gonna subdivide this right here in the middle, and I'm gonna make 006. I'm doing proportional editing right here, so actually 0006 is what I want, and I'm just gonna select this dot right in the middle, and I'm just gonna scale it up, and there is my shape key. So now I can animate that. Boom. So it begins with it like medium wide, and then goes into contracting and opening the eyes. So it finishes in 1.8 and begins in 1. So from second 20, so from frame 25 to 40, kind of, that's where we're gonna go from this. We're gonna insert the keyframe to almost a second. So that's gonna be 0.8, 20 frames later. Yes, it does move after the blank too. So blank, and then here there's like a subtle right after when the eyes open just to adjust the light. And then, and it contracts, right? Yeah, it gets smaller. And then here we're gonna insert a keyframe. This is gonna be say 0.3. 0.3, and then 0. Let's see how that looks. Yeah. But I also do feel like I need to have like a noise modifier there too, because it doesn't seem to be like constant like it is here. So let me just add a noise modifier to this one too. And then the strength can be maybe 0.2. And I think it's just a little too jittery. So maybe, let's see. Let's just, yeah. Let's just make the scale like 2. And the strength 0.5. Nope. 0.2. 0.10. Nope. Still too strong. Yeah, it's too strong. Yeah. Eyes are, eyes are literally like like what I love the most about animation. Cool. I think for now, this is as far as we're gonna get, just because I want to create other shape keys for the scan movement, right? But I think the eyes need to open a little bit more. Maybe I can do that with the rig though. Let's use this rig. So let's begin with the eyes. Let's begin So here's when it opens. So go back to the timeline. Eyes here. Open just a little more. And then here, we're gonna have them there you go. But it just kind of seems like the twitching that I had here kind of went away. Let me see. 105. 04. Yeah, I need a little bit more of twitching on the lower lid. So I'm just gonna add another noise modifier. The strength is gonna be 0.2. Then the scale is gonna be not necessarily what I wanted. Let's try it again. Let's go back to my timeline here. Graph editor. Let's add a noise modifier. 0.01. 0.001. Okay. Timeline. Okay. It is not letting me add. Okay, let's see. Just the Z. There you go. There you go. Now I got it. And let's also disable the denoise. Now, just to make the animation feel good and right, I'm just gonna do the same thing I did for the iris. I am going to do the same thing here on the other side. So all I need to do right now is subdivide my iris right here so I can create that middle point, and then I am going to make it, oh, actually I forgot to create the shape keys, so create two shape keys. I'm going to edit mode, I'm gonna make this bigger, boom. Now I'm just going to come to these shape keys, I'm going to copy, and I'm gonna come to this second iris, copy, and then insert keyframe, paste. I have to paste on the same where it starts at 20. If it starts at 20, I'm going to copy again, go back and paste, and there you have it. And this keyframe does not delete keyframe. Boom. And also I'm just gonna add the noise modifier here as well. So from graph editor, let's see, it's not showing me in the there you go. Add a noise modifier. Let's do 0.2. Let's see here on my noise modifier, have 0.10, 1.75 of scale, and 0.10 of strength. Scale 1.7, 0.10 of strength, and boom. Cool. Now that we have this little animation, we are going to create the not eyebrows, lashes. Okay. It's so painful to like decide. Oop, I just dropped my microphone. It's so painful to decide which route I'm gonna take, because I know that with each route comes a challenge, and sometimes I spend a lot of time just thinking how I'm going to do certain things, because the way I'm gonna do it is going to change the advantage and disadvantages that I'm gonna have while doing it. So I have to choose carefully and thinking of what I'm gonna use it for, right? Um, so if I choose to keep the hair on my base mesh, it is good because whatever animation I'm doing to my base mesh, it's gonna reflect on the hair automatically. But it's really bad for especially Blender just because that's gonna cause me to be a lot slower. I could I could still do it. Um, I just might run into some issues later. And if I'm trying to animate with another shape key, a shape key that's a higher resolution, I'm gonna then later on have to separate the meshes. So I guess for now, just for the sake of being faster, I'm gonna do everything on this base mesh. And then if I need to later on, I can just separate um, the two layers. But let's get started. So particle system, that's how we're gonna do it. On Blender, it's pretty straightforward. On this side tab, I just go to particles and create a new particle system and then choose hair. We're gonna create, oh, I have the iris selected, so uh, okay. Now I have my actual mesh selected here, and there you go. We're gonna create a new material. So this is skin, and then we're gonna create hair. Um, so the only thing that I'm doing here is changing the base color to black. And let's go back to our references. So I might want her lashes to look more like this. I'm actually contracting a little bit more of this. Um, I'm gonna do the same thing to the other side. Oh, Blender is crashing on me a lot today, and I know it's because we're live. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. I was just fixing some things, but we are good to go ahead and put the the lashes. So the first thing I'm gonna do for the lashes is assigning the right material, and also the particle system has to be before everything else, but the armature. Yeah, armature comes first. Pretty sure. Well, we'll see. And then particle system. Let me just hit save again. Let's assign the right material. Under particles, we're gonna go to render and put the second slot. Also, let's change the hair length to 0.01. That's 1 centimeter. And let's have the number down to 0. We're gonna do a B-spline 6 steps and 6 steps for both render and viewport display. We're gonna do children 2 children per guide, and then we're gonna do a radius of 0, 0, 1. The radius just means how many children or the duplicates of hair are gonna the display and render amount is how many duplicates of hair I'm gonna have per guide, and then the radius is how far they are from that guide. So if I go over to particle now, edit over here, I can start adding those manually, and I'm just gonna make sure that I have my mirror and topology mirror on just to save me a little bit of time. And the keys are gonna be 3, and it's just gonna be 1 count. I'm also gonna disable the overlays, and I'm gonna show the points here. So we're just gonna start with about like 6 or 7, actually more, so 4 on each side, about like 9, I guess. And then we're gonna select the tips and bring them up, and then we're gonna scale. Actually, we're just gonna brush them out. Have them kinda on the same. And then I'm gonna select few ones to be a little bit bigger, like these. And these ones are gonna shrink, and then have this like beautiful let's do our camera, like the focus is, the depth of field is a little too shallow. Let's just increase the distance so we can see more of the hair. There's not enough hair, and it's not thick enough. So I might have to, on the hair shape, make it I'm gonna do the strand shape, make it thicker throughout the hair, and then just the tip is gonna get down to 0. There's still too much of the hairs like out of focus. So from 8, let's do 16, the f-stop. Still not enough. Yeah, there you go. This is better. A couple of things that I think are too much. The hair right here is kind of like all over the place, so let's turn the radius down even more. Let's see. We're now going to activate the interpolate, and then we're just gonna bring more hairs in specific areas. The interpolate just kind of like copies the existing hairs when you're creating new ones, and that's a lot better. Let's keep adding more. Okay, I like um the lashes need to come down more, especially the middle part. So I'm gonna select the roots, and I am going to deselect the strand lengths. So that means that when I bring it down, it's gonna make the hair longer. And there you go. Let's see how that looks. Much better. Now I just need to fix the direction of some of those. Let's bring the strand lengths on again, so I'm not making them either longer or shorter. And we're just gonna spread them out to give a more organic feel to it. And then we're gonna select random, and then with those we're just gonna change their position a little, and then we're gonna select random again. And just kind of like mess it up a little bit. I feel like we can still bring the middle part down a little bit more. So roots, control plus, so we're selecting the roots and the middle part, and then we are not going to preserve the strand's length. Then we're gonna bring it down. Let's see how that one looks. Yeah, that looks more like it. I already like the way this looks. I would just clump a little bit more. And now we're gonna add a little bit of roughness to her. There you go. Now we're also going to go back to particle edit. We're gonna select random, let's say like 30%. And then we're just gonna increase the length randomly. Yeah. Also add some more. Now let's go back to the reference. Okay, hers go up way more, so let's do that. Here we're gonna select the we're gonna select the tips, and we're just gonna bring it up. See, move. We're just gonna bring it up. And yeah. And then the sides go down a lot more. This one come up a lot more.